All right, good day, class. I remember as an undergraduate student being asked the question by a history teacher about the value of the value of a trash heap, a garbage can, a landfill to a potential historian. Right, the professor said, would there be any value in the garbage? And of course, students were quick to dismiss it. What value could there be possibly in the garbage? But then the more that we thought about it and the more that the instructor led us through this process of thinking about the materials that are included in there and what information we can gather about those people who threw them away, the more I recognized, oh yeah, absolutely, there is a ton of value in the garbage, in the leftovers that have been left behind. This has been proven true to me again and again as I've traveled to museums, for instance, and looked at the work done of early Homo sapiens and our ancestry, being able to put together these stories based upon the evidence gleaned from essentially garbage and waste. And the same recently was proved to be true. In 2013, a series of reports were released in the National Geographic, but elsewhere in the Washington Post. And Time Magazine had a special because scholars researching in Jamestown had uncovered the skeleton of a young girl and looking closely at her skull found evidence of what they believed to be cannibalism among these early colonists. Now, I do not believe that this is the making of some Night of the Living Dead, some zombie apocalypse type of event. But I think this notion that these early settlers engaged with cannibalism does speak to the challenges that they faced. Our textbook goes into detail outlining those challenges, the poor preparation, the unknown, the unwillingness to compromise or to admit defeat that led many to focus on hunting at the expense of farming, an unwillingness to engage in discussions with local Indian groups, and extremely harsh winters, which led to the famine-like conditions for many of these Jamestown colonists. So that in times of starvation, the colonists would potentially turn to cannibalism is, what's the right word? Sure, it's sad, but it's, gosh, am I a monster if I say it's justifiable? What extent would a human go to survive? So as I was flipping through this, I thought I would go through the article and explain how academic scholars have been able to piece together this girl's story by using a variety of clues taken from essentially the garbage here at Jamestown. So this is a facial reconstruction of this girl. They know that she was 14 based off of the size of the shin bone that they were able to locate. Looking closely at the skull, they found that it appeared that people focused, and forgive me if this gets gruesome or too detailed, but it sounds like the colonists focused on her cheeks and her brain. They noted some what looked like failed attempts to crack open her skull. They found 3 or 4 repeated indentions which didn't go far enough to break the skull. And because of the closeness of these marks, forensic scientists, whoever looking at this, were able to determine that the girl was already dead, or else the marks would be a little bit more haphazard. They were able to look at her bone construction into her teeth. Let's see where I was reading this. Here. They said the isotope studies of her third molar, they note high nitrogen content, which meant that she may have been from a high status family. Or that she was serving in some type of capacity, perhaps as a maid within a family, right? Because they are able to tell, because of the nitrogen content, the type of food that she would eat. Knowing what they do about the scarcity of food, this means that she lived in a home that was able to had the ability to purchase these highly demanded types of food. And notes that she ate a lot of protein, as they say is scarce and expensive. They are also able to tell, based off of the oxygen isotopes in her teeth, that she was probably from the southern coast of England. They're able to trace that back to the water types in her teeth. And so fascinatingly enough, as they look at the skull and look at these things, they're able to determine with some levels of certainty where she was from. Anyways, I encourage you, should you be interested in the lengths to which people are willing to go to survive, I think this moment in time is a fascinating moment. It reminds me of the tragic plane crash in the Andes of was it an Argentine soccer team, a Chilean soccer team in the late 70s? It reminds me of the Donner Party, where the Willie and Hancock pioneer, which faced equally harrowing experiences. And so if this is something of interest, I encourage you to look more into it. There are articles available online to find out how historians and other types of scientists have been able to piece together a story of this girl's life based off of the evidences that they have found in a Jamestown garbage waste. All right. I hope that was good.